Okay, this is your 120 Q&A number 1. You have Michael W. Davis, Princeton Road, East Hartford, Connecticut, Main Street Foundry, Molder, Diamond Mill, Enfield, East Hartford High, John Moriarty, Barbara Silver, DWI, P. Seed, Mary Goodrow, and Mary. So this is 120 Q&A for 5 minutes. Number 1, ready? For the record, would you state your full name?
Yes, I will. Michael W. Davis.
Have you lost any money by being out of work today? We'll have a check for that amount today. Where do you live?
53 Princeton Road in East Hartford.
Can you spell your last name for us?
Davis.
How long have you lived at 53 Princeton Road in East Hartford, Connecticut?
I just moved there the 1st of October.
What is your date of birth?
January 11, 1957.
Where are you employed?
Main Street Foundry.
How long have you been employed there?
About 1 year.
What do you do there?
Molder.
Before you worked at Main Street Foundry, where did you work?
North Main Street Foundry in Hartford, Connecticut.
How long did you work there?
3 years.
Before that, where did you work?
Diamond Mill in Enfield, Connecticut.
And what is your skill?
I was a molder there also.
How far did you go in school?
I made it to the 11th grade. Some of my classes were at the 9th grade level.
The 11th grade in what school?
East Hartford High.
Have you ever been in the military?
No, I haven't.
Do you remember the year that you left East Hartford High?
1974.
Are you married?
Divorced.
When were you divorced?
Last year.
And who represented you when you got divorced?
John Moriarty.
Do you have any children as a result of that marriage?
Yes, 2 girls.
How old are they?
9 and 6.
Do they live with the mother in the area somewhere?
In Enfield, Connecticut.
And what is your former wife's name?
Barbara Silver.
Where does she live?
In Enfield.
What street?
I don't know the street.
Do you know where she works?
She isn't employed now.
Have you ever been arrested?
Yes, I have.
When was the last time that you were arrested?
Last year to this date.
What date?
June 1st, last year.
What were you charged with?
DWI.
And before that, when was the last time you were arrested?
I was PC'd a couple of times. In 1978, I was arrested under the influence also.
Do you have a valid driver's license today?
Yes, I do.
How many times altogether have you been arrested?
Twice.
And PC'd how many times?
2 or 3 times.
How long did you know Mary Goodrow?
I was seeing her 6 weeks to the date that she had been killed.
When did you first get to meet her?
A couple years before that. I met her through friends. I'd seen her around a couple of times. That's about it.
You started going out with her 6 weeks before she was killed?
She was killed on July 20, 1989.
Where was she living when you first started going out with her?
She was living with her mom in Hartford.
And where were you living?
In East Hartford.
At any time, did you and Mary live together?
She spent a few nights a week. That's about it.
Did Mary have a problem with alcohol?
I would say that she had 2 to 3 a day or so, but I didn't see there was no problem.
To your knowledge, was Mary ever arrested for anything?
I have no idea.
For driving under the influence?
Not that I know of.
Was she ever PC'd?
Nope, not that I know of.
And during the 6 weeks that you were going out with Mary before her death, had you... Okay, and on your 120, number 2, it continues. So you have Mary, Ford Mustang, Thrifties, Hartford, Milton's, Kmart, West Street Bar, State Street, Enfield, Connecticut, Budweiser's, Peppermint, Budweiser, and Peppermint Schnapps. This is 120, number 2, for 5 minutes. Ready? Did you ever see her drunk?
Yeah,
About how many times?
a couple of times.
What about on the night just before she was killed? Did you see her that night?
Yes, I did.
When was the first time you saw her that night or that day or whatever?
As soon as I got home from work, she was at my house.
About what time was that?
About 4:15.
And that would be on July 19th, I take it?
Yes.
Did she have anything to drink while she was at your house?
Before I got there, I have no idea. While I was there, no.
And at some time during the day, did she have anything to drink?
Not until we went out.
About what time did you go out?
I left my house about 7, a little after 7.
And she was with you?
Yes, she was.
Did you have a car at the time?
Yes, I had a car. It was a clunker, so we decided to take her car to go out.
Did she have a valid driver's license at that time?
Yes, she did.
And what kind of car did Mary have?
Ford Mustang.
And do you know what year it was?
I don't remember the year.
If I was to say 1988,
Yeah. It was a newer car.
where did Mary work?
She was working at the Thrifties there in Hartford. She only worked there for about a week. She was starting a new job that following Monday after the weekend.
Do you know where she was supposed to start?
I don't remember the name of the company. It was Milton's, I believe.
When you left your house with Mary on the 19th of July, where did you go?
I went to my brother's to put a new tire on her car. She had one of those donut tires on, and she got another tire to put on it. So I changed the tire in the garage because it was raining out. Then we left there and went to Kmart, where I picked up a new phone for my apartment. Then we left there and we went to the West Street Bar.
Do you know why Mary had the donut tire on her car?
Yeah, she had a flat a couple days before that.
Do you know how she got that flat?
No, I don't.
Was it when she hit the curb with her car?
I have no idea.
Do you know what tire it was? Was it on the front?
I don't remember. It was the driver's side.
About what time did you arrive at the West Street Bar?
Oh, about 8:30.
Where's the West Street Bar located?
State Street, Enfield, Connecticut.
How long did you and Mary stay at the West Street Bar?
About an hour and a half.
Did Mary have anything to drink while she was at the West Street Bar?
Yes, she did.
Do you know what it was that she had?
Some Budweisers, and we had shots of peppermint.
How many, strike that, bottles of Budweiser?
Yes,
You drank the same thing?
yeah,
And then you had a couple of shots of peppermint schnapps?
yes.
About how many bottles of Budweisers did Mary have?
I don't know for sure. She liked to keep up with everyone else on her drinking. I had about 4 or 5. I'd say she had about the same.
How many shots of peppermint schnapps?
We had 2. That I know for sure.
Did you know anybody Okay, on your 100, number 1, you have Patty, Mr. Ryan, and Taco Bell. So this is your 100 Q&A, number 1, for 5 minutes. Ready? Did the man from the pickup truck stop moving toward you?
Yes, he saw Patty get out of our car, so he charged over to Patty.
What happened then?
He said, "See how you like this." Then he punched him right in the face.
Who punched who?
The guy hit Patty before he could say anything.
Did Mr. Ryan try to defend himself?
Sure, I saw him throw his arms around the guy and they fell to the pavement, hitting the car first.
Were you still in the car?
Yes, I was still in the driver's seat. But when I felt them hit the car, I jumped out and ran around behind the car to the other side.
Did you do anything at this time? Or what did you see at this time?
I saw the guy on top of Patty. It looked like he was really beating him up.
Did you do or say anything?
Yes, I yelled, "Stop, stop this." I even yelled at the order microphone. The guy from Taco Bell was coming out to help.
Did the fight stop or was it still in progress?
It was still going on. I grabbed the guy's neck and tried to pull him off with all my might.
How big was this man, would you say?
He was about 5'10" to 6 feet. He weighed about 190 pounds.
Did you notice anything else?
When I grabbed him, I could smell booze on him.
Is this when you knew he was intoxicated?
Sure was.
All right. What were you doing?
I still had his neck in my arms, trying to pull him off.
How long did this go on?
It seemed like forever. He was not turning Patty loose, so I gouged him in his eyes to get his attention.
Okay. Did he let go?
Yes, but the Taco Bell guy had to help me get him off.
What was Mr. Ryan doing at this time?
Trying to defend himself. I found out later he was getting in some hard punches himself, but I could not see this because the guy was on top of him.
All right. You and the Taco Bell person managed to get him off of Mr. Ryan. Then what happened?
As we were dragging him off of Patty, he grabbed Patty's glasses off his face.
What did he do with the glasses?
He mangled them, then threw them down on the ground.
What happened next?
At that point, his friend, who was with him, standing there watching all this go on, said, "Come on, man, we got to go."
Did they leave?
No, the police got there about that time.
What did you say to the police?
We told them what happened.
Did they press charges?
Yeah, they charged the guy from the pickup with assault.
Okay. Was Mr. Ryan badly hurt?
No, we were amazed. There was so much blood on the pavement.
Whose blood was it?
The drunk guy's blood.
Okay, your 100 Q&A number 2. You have Whiplash, Whip, Irish, Rish, Gelding, and Joe Bryan. This is 100 Q&A number 2 for 5 minutes. Ready? And Donna. Donna is another one. Donna, Donna. Ready? Donna, would you say that Whiplash has a problem with kicking people, or is this just a one-time incident?
He has kicked before. Whip is what I call him.
Okay, Whip it is. How long have you had Whip?
Since he was born, I own his mother. Her name is Irish, but we call her Rish for short.
How old is Whip now?
Almost 3 years old.
I don't know much about horses. Is Whip a stallion, or is he a gelding, or maybe a mare, for all I know?
Whip is a gelding. He has been a gelding since he was 14 months old.
Okay. I am sure I am going to ask another silly question, but is he weaned?
Yes, I let him nurse from Rish a little longer than most because she had a lot of milk and it is really good for the foals.
About how long did he nurse?
Just about a year. When you wean a colt, you have to have a separate corral, and I didn't have another corral.
Okay. Does the fact that you let him stay with his mother for a longer period of time have anything to do with his basic nature?
Oh, no, it shouldn't have anything to do with it.
How did you come to have Rish?
I bought her.
Who did you buy her from?
A man named Joe Bryan.
How long have you owned Rish?
I have owned her since she was 3 years old, and she is now a little over 10 years old.
Would you say she is a gentle horse?
Very. She is a good horse, and she has a good gait.
Did you say Whip kicked somebody before this incident?
Yes,
How many times did he kick someone?
4 that I know of.
Can you tell us about those kicking incidents? Let's start with the first one. Where did that happen?
It happened when he was 6 or 7 months old.
All right. Who did he kick?
He kicked me. I was feeding grain, and I had a can of grain in my hand, my left hand. He was on my right, and I was taking him to the barn to feed him.
This was grain feeding as well as nursing.
Yes,
All right. Go ahead.
he wanted the food and he reached for it. I hit him, and he thought that I was trying to take his food away from him. He turned around and kicked me.
All the way around?
He was beside me, and he turned just enough to kick me.
He thought you were taking his food away. Is that what you said, or is that what you meant?
Yes, I was mad at myself because I know better. He thought I was pushing something away from him that was his.
Was anyone else there to help you at that time, or were you feeding horses by yourself?
No, I was the only one feeding that time.